Alright guys, the exhaust manifold is located in this area. I don't expect you to look at it right now because it's way down in there. So the first thing we're going to have to do is remove the AC compressor, swing it over to the side, and we're going to remove the entire air cleaner assembly. Now when you're doing this vehicle, you don't have to remove the whole air cleaner assembly. What you would have to do is really basically just remove the top half and the cover over here. But we're going to do that so we can get a very good look, a video of what's going on. All right, we'll be right back. All right guys, let's get right to it. The first thing we're going to do, you got your air AC lines going across here. Just pop this little flat back right here. Pop that, pick those up. The reason why you're going to pick that up because we're going to remove this duct assembly right here. Now to remove this, you're going to have clips right here, one right here, and that's all you have to do is take a flat screwdriver, stick it right there, pop that center right out of there. And if you want, you can use a pair of but you got to be very careful when you do this. A pair of wire cutters, but don't squeeze in. Pick it right up. So if you squeeze it, you're going to cut it. Then you got one over this side, same way. Go in there. Don't squeeze. Pop it up just like that. The next thing you're going to do is get you a flat screwdriver, and you're going to have to loosen up this clamp right here. And we're not going to loosen up this one because we're going to remove this whole box. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got this clamp over here loosened up. Now I did say we were going to remove this whole box, but I think it's going to be easier if we loosen up this clamp. Pop this off. Now sometimes because it gets stuck in there, tight up so long, it's very difficult to pull it back. This one came off. So what you would do is take your screwdriver and just go around it and just break the seal. Once we get that off, pull that off back there. Now you got your air temperature sensor right here. So it's got a little tab right here. Just pick that tab up slightly and unplug it. Now over on this side, we're going to pick our AC lines up, and here, see this little grommet right here is a grommet, and it's held onto like a plastic. Now you got that one, and over here, down here, you got two more. Now to take those out, that's all you have to do is pick it up, or you might want to get a screwdriver and pick that up. Wait a minute. That thing is cooked. That's, what is that right there? Alright guys, we got a little issue over here. If you come over here, we actually got another hose going to the air cleaner right there. Now it's going to be difficult to use your screw. See, you can probably get your screwdriver in there, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my big bill ratchet with a 5/16, or you can use an 8mm socket. And you're going to go down there and loosen up that clamp. And of course, there we go. And more than likely, that's sealed up down there. So what I'm gonna do is take my screwdriver and just go around it and break that seal. Let's get that done and we'll be right back. Alright guys, that thing is just not breaking loose. You know what? And we're not even gonna go through with it. What we're gonna do is remove the whole air tube assembly. But before we do that, we gotta remove this upper radiator hose. So grab you a pan, a drain pan, set it up, then loosen up the top radiator hose clamp. Bring it back, and let's see if this is great. Great, there we go. Because what we're going to do is take the whole thing up. So let's swing this hose out of our way. You're going to tuck it and keep it up in the air. That way you don't lose a lot of antifreeze. So just keep that tucked to the side, and now we can see the whole thing. So there we go. Now the whole thing's coming up. So what we're gonna do now is over here we got our air tube. Let's pop this off. Pick the whole assembly up. Take it off of over here. Hold the AC lines out of the way, and take the whole thing out. Now this is the clamp I was telling you about. Now what I do, I tried to break that loose, but that wasn't happening. So what I'm gonna do now, before we put it back in, I'm gonna tighten this clamp back up. So let's get that done, put this to the side, and we'll be right back. All right guys, the next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take off the top half of the radiator fan shroud. Now you don't have to do this if you're doing this job. Reason why I'm doing it is because so you can get a good look at a bolt that's going through the power steering pump pulley that's holding on a bracket. We got to get to that, so it's you better look at it. Now what you want to do guys is go to Harbor Freight or something, get you an impact driver like this, and get you this bit set. It's like $5.99, 1/4 inch, 3/8 and 1/2 inch drive. This thing is cool. It's gonna save you a lot of time. Okay, what you want to do, or if you're using a regular ratchet, get you a 6-inch 3/8 drive extension and a deep 10mm socket. Now you're gonna have 7 bolts you gotta remove. If you look down here, there's 1, 2, and on the top 3, 4, 5, and then on the other side of the shroud 6 and 7. So let's go around here. What the heck? What the heck is wrong with this? You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, the bottom, and the bottom's not supposed to turn because there is, huh?
It's broken.
Oh, that's why it's turning?
I think so. Is it?
Yeah, sure, it looks like it. It is. Guys, I'm gonna show you something in a minute, so. No, that one is broken on the corner. Let's get these 10 bolts out, and there's something wrong with this one I'm gonna show you in a minute. All right, let's get these others out, and we'll be right back. All right guys, this corner over here is broken, so the whole clip is spinning, so it's going to be an issue here. But to better get to that, let's go ahead and remove this right here, the top of the air cleaner. Now you got a 10mm nut right over here. And we're going to use our same setup. Take that off, and over here it pops off out of those grommets. Okay, there's the grommets. And guys, what I like to do is like when you take off bolts and all, like I'm gonna take this nut, I'm gonna put it back on here, so that way you don't have a bucket of bolts somewhere and it's all messed up. Now let me put this to the side. Let me show you what I'm talking about right here. You can see the corner is broken off, so the whole thing is spinning. It won't turn. It won't. There's no way that's gonna come off. So what I'm gonna do is take a pair of small vice grips. I'm gonna hold that end. Alright, let's put this up. We'll be right back. Alright guys, we got all the bolts out. The next thing we'll do, take your AC lines, hold them to the side, take the top half of your shroud, and just take it right out of the way. Check that out. We are looking good. Dang it. Alright, this Manifold gonna be fun. Alright guys, we'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing we're going to do is remove our serpentine belt. Now your belt tensioner is located right down here. And if you look right there, there's an opening in it. And that's a 3/8 drive opening. So you're going to get your 3/8 drive ratchet, and you're going to set your ratchet to the position like you're loosening the bolt. So it sits right in there like that. And go to loosen, and watch what happens. See, I bring it back, it takes the tension off the belt. While you're holding that back, grab it over here where your power steering pump is, and remove the belt. Slowly release the tensioner back, And of course, look at that. That sucks. That sucks. This thing went right up against the wood pump. But that's okay. That's cool. We can leave that just like that. So at least we know what's there. All right, so let's move this belt to the side and we'll be right back. All right, guys, the next thing we're going to do is take our AC compressor off. We're not going to unhook any other AC lines or anything. That's all we're going to do is swing it to the side. Now, me and the customer was talking a little while ago. This AC compressor, there's supposed to be a plug right here. Let's plug it up, and we have no idea where it's at right now. We got the truck was like this, so we're going to, hopefully we can see that when we remove it. Now, to take this AC compressor off, we have two 15mm bolts in the front. 1 and 2, and in the back, and in the back we have 2 bolts going straight down to this bracket. You got 1, right here, right through here.
Because I can see that one I got. But
The one I'm on right now?
Yeah.
Oh.
But I can't see the other one. Okay. So close. All right.
And the other one, guys, is right there. There's a picture of both right now. So this bracket is bolted to the back of the compressor, and then it's bolted down to that bracket. So let's get those first. Now what I'm using here is a 12-inch 3/8 drive extension with a 3/8 drive swivel 13mm socket. And what I want to do is carefully turn these because I want to make sure that they don't break. Watch your camera. Okay, cool. That's one. Now let's go to the other one. Now this one I could use a straight, but this one it is definitely off to the side, so that's why I definitely had to use that swivel. So let's see if we get this one now. Great, guys. All right, let's get both of those bolts out, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got both bolts out. Both bolts are the same length, so we don't have to worry about it. Now, let's get to the front. So get your impact driver, get a 15mm deep socket, and if you don't have an impact driver, you're going to use your 15mm deep 3/8 drive socket and a 4-inch 3/8 drive extension with a regular ratchet. So we're going to have this bolt right here. And the one right over here. Okay, and both these bolts are the same length as well. Now, guys, I'm going to show you another little important little tip. Now, as I take off these bolts, and if I can't put them back where they belong, over here, you guys remember what the party line was? With parts, well, I also do that with bolts. So I know I got these Christmas tree clips off. Then I got these going to the fan shroud. And now I got these going to the AC compressor. Keep them separate just like that. So when I go back to put this job back together, I just start from this end of the line and work my way back. And I don't have just a big thing of bolts around. That's the party line. All right? We'll be right back. All right, guys. Now we also he had this ground wire hooked up that somebody hooked up. It's going right. I don't know why they have this, like an engine ground or something. But we just got this going up under here. We're gonna leave that connected. And what we're gonna do is pick up our compressor. Yeah, I guess we ain't picking it up too much because we got this tie strap over there. So let's get this tie strap out of the way. Okay. And we're gonna take our compressor and just lean it. Just set it right up over there just like that. And while we're over here, see if we can see some. I see there's two wires right here, which I have no idea
where it's going.
And I don't see this is reaching all the way over there.
No,
unless it broke, unless it was cut or something.
Yeah, something like that.
We're gonna figure that out. Huh? All right, guys, here we are. almost at the exhaust manifold. Now guys, the next part is very important. Before we even continue on, what you want to do is get some PB Blaster, WD-40 or something, and spray those nuts and bolts right now, so they be working its way in there. All right, so let's get them and we'll be right back. All right guys, now you're gonna have we're gonna need to get this bracket out of the way first, but we're gonna spray some bolts right now because they definitely look rusty. Now on this exhaust manifold, you're gonna have 8 bolts, 4 on the top, 4 on the bottom. Right now I can get to 5, 4 on the top and the 1 right over here, but we're gonna have to remove this bracket to get to the other one. But I want to make sure these other ones are tight. Now you're also gonna have the EGR exhaust pipes going to the top of the exhaust manifold, one right there and another pipe going under here. Those, I don't care, you can break them if you want, it doesn't matter, because the new exhaust, now make sure you get a new exhaust manifold. It's going to come with new studs and everything, so you ain't got to worry about it. But I'm gonna spray them anyway. Alright guys, we'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing I'm going to do is get this bracket out of the way. Now this bracket is held on by 1 bolt and 2 nuts. If you notice right there, which is going up against the thing, 1 right there and 1 right there, those are 15 millimeters. And then this is why we got the belt off and all. Right through the power steering pump, there's a 13 millimeter bolt right in. Cool. Okay, great. All right, so let's get that one first. I'm gonna use a 13 millimeter deep, and I'm gonna use my impact. Matter of fact, you know what, guys? Let's just get our regular ratchet. 13 millimeter deep, 3/8 drive. Put the ratchet right through there, and that one is loose. All right. Now for over here, what you're gonna use, what you're gonna need is because we got this pipe right here, you're going to need a swivel socket. Now what I'm gonna use here, I got a 15 millimeter, and those bolts look kind of rusty and look kind of tight. So I got a 15 millimeter shallow socket, 1/2 inch drive, my swivel 1/2 inch extension. So that's gonna go right in there, hopefully. And actually guys, that's close. That's right up against that pipe. Right up against that pipe. You know what? We're gonna try something different here. Let me try a wobble extension. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright guys, now I got a 1-inch wobble extension, and for guys who don't know what a wobble extension is, it looks like an extension, but you see the top looks like a little diamond, or ring pops, the little ring pops. That's what it does. You put the socket on, so instead of the socket being straight, now the socket can wobble a little bit. So we're going to get that down there. Perfect. Now I'm going to use a 12-inch 1/2 inch drive extension and a 1/2 inch drive ratchet. Cool. That's all I'm going to do is break it loose. Go over here to the other one. Break that loose. I was going to get my 3/8, but hey, it's good enough. Let's get those off. We'll be right back. Alright guys, we got our 2 nuts off. Cool. Now, hey man guys, you know what? There's actually, we got this one 13 millimeter bolt up here that we got out. But let's get that one out first. Actually, let me see, maybe we can just leave it in there just as long as it's away from the bracket. But I'm noticing that bracket goes down below the power steering pump. So actually, hold on, let's put this back in here a little bit. So actually guys, yeah, sure enough, we gotta go down here to the bottom one, take out, you're going to get the front of it. Right here. Take that one out. Is this thing moving now or what? You know what? Because it feels like this thing is like still kind of tight. What I'm gonna do here is we got a third one. Now I know this one just bolts the power steering pump to that bracket, but I need to loosen up to see if that power steering pump will move a little bit. It sure did. Alright, so now we're gonna have to get these bolts out of here. So let's go ahead and get these two out of here. Now, as you can see before, when I loosened this up, I could not really get that bolt out of here. So what you're gonna do is just get you a magnet or something. Or you can get your fingers in there. Just get you a magnet. Stop messing around. Alright, let me get a magnet. Be right back. Alright guys, see that? It's a lot more easier. Now to turn, take that bottom one out, do the same exact thing. Alright, so let's get that out and we'll be right back. Alright guys, I took the blue bolts out and I'm still kind of tight. So you know what I'm gonna do, guys? I'm gonna turn and we got this third one that's right over here. Third 13 millimeter. And almost see here, it's taking up the whole assembly. Somewhere in back of there is another bolt holding this thing on. Almost. There we go. Now let's look back at this thing. Sure enough, look in the back, the two bolts are going back this way. So good, that's cool. We can lean that to the side because that is definitely give us a lot of room. Now we're down to the exhaust manifold, but we still got, this is the pipe I was telling you guys about. And what we're gonna do is, you can tell they're gonna, there's a good chance I'm breaking, but it don't matter. So let's spray these up. And actually guys, there's the crack in the exhaust manifold right there. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna get this shield out of the way as well. But let me spray this up, and guys, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing we're gonna do is take off the heat shield. Now you notice I didn't spray the heat shield, but I really don't care because the heat shield is really, the bolt's gonna break off in here. It doesn't matter, the new one got a heat shield on it as well. Anyway, so what I got here is a 10 millimeter 3/8 drive swivel socket with a 2-foot long 3/8 drive extension. And you're gonna have, I can't move this out of the way, this thing. We're gonna have 3 bolts. One, if we go further down here, there's number 2. And number 3 is up here. See number 3? Mm-hmm. Alright, so let's, by fact, being that we're on number 3, let's go ahead, and it doesn't matter, it would actually be better if they break. It figures, this thing is coming off with no problem. So guys, let's get those 3 off, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, the last one down there, broke. But that's like I said, but it's a good sign that the other two came out. So now let's see if we can get this shield out of the way. Oh man, look at that thing, it's really cracked. And it's dropping down.
Oh, it's cracked all over.
It sure is, look at that.
The wind is making such loud noise. That's a lot.
What is this pipe over here? I'll take that. That's cool. That's cool. We're gonna go right there. Dang it. All right, guys. The next thing we're gonna do is take our same 10mm setup. Well, actually, I don't know. I'm not sure because those studs are sticking way down there. So I don't know if I have space to get down there. Got it, so I'm not even gonna take a chance. I switched over to a 10mm deep socket, 3/8 drive. And these also, we don't really care if they break. But if they don't, which like this one didn't, that's a good sign that these over here is not gonna break. So we got 1, 2, 3, and remember I'm doing all this with no swivel or nothing, just a straight ratchet. And this one's kind of tight to get to. And let's get over here to number 4. Cool. All right, guys, let's get those 4 out. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we got 4 of them off. None broke. Perfect. Great. Good job. All right. Damn, that thing is continuously cracked. Anyway, let's get this bracket out. But now there's looks like a 13mm nut right here holding this bracket on. But before we do that, it's got a hose right up here on the top, and you got a clamp on it. So what I'm gonna do is reach in there with a pair of vice grips. Bring that clamp back. Goes back. Okay. Now let's see if we can twist this hose off. I am very surprised that hose turned. I did not think that hose was going to turn. Okay, let's pull this off. EGR. Okay, pulled it off, set it to the side, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, now, like I said, we got a 13mm nut right there we don't have to take off. So I'm going to use my 13mm deep 3/8 drive, and I'm going to use the big bill. I'm going, we'll go in there. Wow, that was loose, guys, because I didn't feel no kind of tension at all coming out. So I can't. I guess I'm not going to complain because. All right, guys, that came off. I mean, I know that PB blaster worked well, but I know it ain't worked that well. All right, so let's take this bracket, pick it up. What the? Oh, okay, it's just a slot. So. Okay, get this. You got to be kidding me. All right, so this thing is gonna fight me all the way. All right, guys, we got this pipe. This pipe cannot come up all the way because we got this hose, coolant hose going right here. That's which I don't get. Why is? All right, yeah, I see why now. All right, right there, we got a 10mm bolt that's going to this pipe right here. So what I'm gonna do is switch to the 10mm. Alright, I got 10mm deep, 3/8 drive. Right here. Alright. That should give that pipe just enough room to pick up. Let's get our bracket. Get this pipe right out of there. Alright. And I noticed this is a slot, so what we're gonna do is let's put this bolt. No, you know what? We're not gonna do that because we gotta still take off that over there. Alright guys, let's put this to the side and we'll be right back. Alright guys, this thing is really high right now. I'm gonna tell you why. First, what I'm gonna do, I can, now that we got this piping all out the way, we can get our shield out of here. Now, the next thing you want to do, guys, is jack the vehicle up, and safety is the utmost important. Have your jack stand up under there. And what I'm gonna do as added security, get my block of wood here. And you don't want to pick it up. Only thing you want to do is just bring it up just till it touches and then lock that into place. Now if you look through the tire right here,
Through the tire?
through the wheel well, looks like somebody cut this out open already. Nah, it couldn't be. Okay, we got the 3 bolts right here that's holding the flex pipe, the front end.
Where's the third?
It's on the other side. So what we're gonna do now, we don't care if it breaks or not, because you know we got new ones and all. But I don't know, I just like to take them out smoothly. So what I'm gonna do is take some PV Blaster, spray them up. This thing looks like it. I mean, look at these brake lines. Man, this thing is rusty. I know.
How are they not leaking?
I know. What the heck? All right, guys. Now what I'm gonna do? Let me take the camera. I'm gonna show you from underneath here, and make sure you have
You
your.
gotta take my camera?
Yeah. Make sure you have your poor man's creeper handy. Give me the camera, Sivvy. All right. Let's get up under here, guys. Let's look up. What the heck is that? Wow, guys, look at that. Look at that wire going right up against that exhaust system. Wow. Wow, that sucks. But there's our, get the light. There's our 3 bolts right there. 1, 2, and the other one's on the other side. So now this is where an issue comes in at, and I should have told you guys this from the beginning, because now we got the starter right there by it. So what we need to do is we're going to disconnect the negative terminal on the battery, because that's just too close to the starter, and then we're going to get set up to take this out. Also, while we're up under here, guys, there's the O2 sensor. Here's the wire to the O2 sensor. This lighting, I'm facing straight up to the sun. There's a tab right there. Just push that tab in and then unplug it. Just like that. There's a tab, push it in and unplug it. So now our O2 sensor is disconnected. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright guys, for the next step, we're gonna need a 2 foot long 3/8 drive extension and a swivel 13mm socket. And that's how I'm going up in there. Now you're gonna see me from right there. Alright, so let's go up here. Alright. Let's get this one first. You know what? Maybe it's not a 13. Son of a biscuit.
Shouldn't you check that?
Should have.
Okay, just
Be right back, guys.
Okay.
Alright guys, I got a 15mm swivel. We're gonna go right here. And we gotta be very careful, just because of the rust. See how loose it is? And I did try 9/16 and it just won't work. So let's see. Oh my goodness, this is not gonna be good. Okay, this ratchet gonna give on me. You know, guys, we're gonna have to try a 1/2-inch drive. Ugh. Be right back. All right, guys, I got me a 15mm shallow with my wobble extension and two 12-inch 1/2-inch drive extensions. Dang it, look at that. Let's try this one. All right, let me see if can I loosen up that one. Yeah, that's going to break as sure as anything. Yeah, that's one. That's cool. Let's see if I can break this one over here. On this side. Okay, this one looks like it's coming out. But we're going to have to do something with that other one. So we'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to try it. Something's gonna break. Got my 3/8 drive. Oh my goodness, that thing is tight. I need something with more leverage. All right, guys, I'll be right back. All right, guys, this is what I did. I got my jack. I dropped a jack with a block of wood up under the oil pan. I jacked this side of the engine up as much as I can because maybe the motor mount, it's rusty up under here. Motor mount is messed up. I noticed it did get some clearance. So let's try this out now. Let's see here. First, I'm going to try my wobble. And that's all if I do. If I get it loose, it's okay. Okay, you're gonna let me know because I can't hardly see it.
That you know what?
Am I all the way on or?
No. Close.
All right, let me try the swivel. How's that? Is that the same or?
It's better than before.
It's better than the last one?
Yeah, it's all the way on one side, but not the other.
See,
that's pretty close.
I can't twist it. I'm going to try it. Hopefully I don't strip that bolt out and then I'm in trouble. Oh, man, this thing is tight.
It's turning. Broke.
Good. Man, that sucked. All right, guys, that's good. That's good that it broke. So let's get our stuff from under here. So we are done. Let me see if something from there. Let's see if I can see the bolts through here. 1, 2. Maybe if I took off the tire. Oh, wait a minute, this one. Okay. Let's see if I can see the exhaust manifold bolts. But I have to get that from the top. Dang, because right through here, those two back there I'm worried about. But we can get an extension on. Alright, so guys, so I'm going to let this truck down, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we're back up at the top. This job is a nightmare. Word to your mother. Alright, check it out. I'm going to get a 13mm deep socket, 4-inch 3/8 drive extension. And the oil filler tube right over here. It's mounted on by a 13mm nut right there. So, get my big bill. And I need to go in there and take that nut off. And get that out of the way, because I'm definitely gonna need this out of the way, and it ain't moving as much as I want it to, dang it, because of a 13mm. We got 8 bolts holding this, and the ones at the bottom is right below the top one. So I want to start off with this one, get this one back here, this most difficult one. But the problem is, this pipe is in the way. I think I just took the pipe out. Sure did. How the heck that's in there? Are we just stuck in there? Okay. So what we're gonna do is let's just head it out of the way. All right.
Ew.
Yeah. And that thing's dry rotted too, so we'll put some more. We'll clean it up, put some silicone on it, and we'll put it back in there. So let's set this to the side. And now we can easily get to that bolt right up underneath here. There it is right there. And you can see where my extension is and all. Let's see if this thing is tight and see would it just come loose. Figures. All right, so let's get a 3/8 drive ratchet. Okay. All right, loosen that one up. Matter of fact, while I'm up here, that 13 feels awfully loose, man. Okay, loosen that one up. Now there's one up under here. Let's see if we can get to that before we go to break. What's so funny? This pipe is no way, right? Alright guys, you can see I'm right there on it. I just need to get this loose. That's all I need to do is just loosen this up. Okay, you heard that. Alright, so let's get the rest of these loose and we'll be right back. Alright guys, I got them all loose. Now I'm gonna just use my big bill. Guys, definitely get you a big bill, man. This thing is worth its weight in copper.
What?
Alright, let's get this bottom one. See how easy that is, guys? Look at that. Look at that. Came right out of there. Yeah, boy. Let's go to the top. Yeah. Okay, now, notice, some of them will come out the whole stud, but some of them, like the one right now that I'm doing. Huh?
Stupid camera.
Will come out just the nut. You cool? You good?
No, I'm not.
What's wrong?
Yeah, I guess there's so many things in the way that it's hard to focus on what you're doing. Okay, we're good.
All right. So this one came out the nut. The bottom one came out the stud, but that's quite all right. Let's go ahead, put these to the side. And matter of fact, I'm gonna show you one more that's down here. Now, good idea, guys. Sometimes, a lot of times, you can't even see the bolt. So what you got to do is go by feel. So I got to reach my hand up under here and see, get an idea where it's at. This thing is. It's up under here somewhere. This is the most crummiest setup. You know, I just got it in there to loosen it up. So I don't understand. You know. How can I get there before? Man, that one is going to be a problem getting back on. Okay, came out as a stud. All right, guys, let's get the rest of these out, and we'll be right back. Guys, as I was loosening up the last bolt, the exhaust manifold fell apart. Look at it. Woo! Yeah, this is funny.
Something like that happen?
I don't know. Heat, old age, I don't know. The heck, I look like a scientist.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's
Call the professor.
let's get this two-piece manifold out. Man, look at that. Yeah, buddy. There it is, guys. All right, hey, I hope this thing came with a new gasket. Because they're not. Oh well. All right, let's go over here. See what we got. Dang it, man. He should have. I don't think there's a new gasket or an exhaust flange gasket. I don't know. Let's check the box, see what the customer got. Okay, we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got the thing out here. Got an issue. And it's tough. This is my fault. The customer bought a dormant part, and there's not a single gasket in here. You know, you figure these companies are so stupid, man. It's like, if you know the person's changing this, you know they're going to need gaskets. So we looked around. Nobody got no gaskets. Well, actually, the customer went picked up the flange gasket, so we got that. These air injector pipes right here, nobody got, so we're going to do something crazy. And as far as the exhaust manifold gasket, I think we lucked out. No, looking for a rag to wipe it off. Because this one is metal. So we can reuse this, but I'm going to just definitely clean this up and put this back on. This sucks, man. So what we're going to do, let me wipe all this off, put this gasket back on, and then what we're going to do here, let me set this back up here. Then what we're going to do, we're going to remove the heat shield. Even though we can still get to the bolts, this thing is sharp and you definitely don't want to cut yourself. So we're going to remove that with a 10mm socket. We got brand new studs. They're going for the air injection system. We're going to put those in. And that's held on by, it looks like a reversible Torx bolts. But, no, wait a minute. Is that a reversible Torx? No, that's just a, yeah, it is. But that's really small. But what we're going to use is, I'm going to use a 4mm socket, which will go right up there and put those down. And these not really crazy tight. I mean, that's all we have to do is just bring those down till it stops, and then a little bit more. That's it. All right, so let's get that done, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, what we got to do here is take out the O2 sensor. And the O2 sensor is a 7/8, so we got a 7/8 O2 sensor socket here. And we're going to get that off. And you can see I'm using the truck because it's like a vice that is held into place. Oops, we need this, man. We don't need that. Yep, it figures. It figures. It figures. It figures, guys. That thing is stripping right off of there. Okay. The reason why I'm doing this, guys, is because I'm gonna get me a 7/8 wrench, box 6-point wrench, and I'm gonna see if we can get that off like that. Be right back. All right, guys. I don't have my 6-point. I do got my 12-point, but it does go through there. All right. Let's dang it, boy, that thing is in there. All right, let me get another wrench for leverage. I'm gonna show you what that means in a minute. Be right back. All right, guys, now check this out. Put the wrench on it. Get it locked into place. Take you another big wrench. Lock it into this one. So now you got leverage. And it turned, but I ain't like. We gotta check those threads to make sure they ain't stripping out. If so, it's gonna need another O2 sensor. Alright, let's get this out and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we got it out. Those threads are messed up. We're not gonna wait a minute, wow. Look at that, guys. This thing is all messed up. Nah, we're gonna send them to get a new one. So let's throw that down. That's garbage. Alright, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we cleaned up the side of the cylinder head. I did wipe that off, didn't I? Hey, I just wiped that off. And nobody has the gasket, so we're going to reuse the gasket. This is a layered gasket, layered metal, so these things do not go bad. So we're definitely going to use this to clean this up. And it's got us, this is Velcro too, this was changed at one time. This is the manifold side, so we know this side faces out. So let's put this back on. Alright, now the customer went to get that. So what we're going to do here, guys, we're going to take our, he went to get the, we're going to put the O2 sensor in later. I should just wait, because it'd be a lot easier to have that sensor in there. You know, guys, let's take this back out. What we're going to do, though, we did get a new flange gasket. So we're going to set that down here. Dang it, what the heck, man? That is sucks, man. Let's look over here and see something.
No, wait. Give me one second. Okay, I had to adjust the lighting.
Are you kidding me? That thing is loose like that? Here's the old one. There's no pipe or nothing that keeps it. That's some bogus mess. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this down here. I'm going to get some little red silicone to keep it into place. Keep it centered right on the exhaust pipe. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright guys, check it out. You see what I did? I put some red silicone on that gasket and I centered it right on that pipe. So actually I'm trying to move it now and that's solid in there. That's great. So I can make sure that don't move. Alright, let's go over here. The customer came back with the new O2 sensor and let's get that installed. We'll be right back. Alright guys, we got the new sensor here. Take off the cap. Look at that. Much better. Alright, let's get this going into there. And when you just got, let the wire twist as well. Don't try to hold the wire because you don't want to twist them wires and break them. Alright, now tighten this up, guys. You know how I tell you. Go till you get till it stops. Then a little bit more. That's it. Let me make sure that I got this tight. Great. Alright, now we're ready to install this manifold. We'll be right back. Alright guys, now we got two studs sticking out that's holding up the exhaust manifold gasket. So those are going to be our alignment. So we're going to bring our manifold down. And try not to let it drop, especially don't let it drop and hit that engine pipe, because you don't want to move that gasket. So then we're going to slowly get those studs to line up and put our manifold on. Perfect. Everything looks perfect. Our O2 sensor wiring harness, just let that hang down below, because we know that goes down there. Now, what we're going to start doing now is putting in our bolts to hold in our manifold. You're not going to put them in, put one in and tighten it up. Nope, you're not going to do that. You're going to go ahead and just put these in by a couple of threads, so make sure we're not cross-threading them. And then we're going to get ready to tighten them up in an important sequence. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got all our bolts started. Now, this part right here is very important. You have to tighten up from the center bolts, the center four, and then on the outer four. And that way, because if you tighten up the outside first and bring it in, there's a good chance you can crack the manifold. It will not set right. So we're going to start off with the most difficult one that was hard to get to. And I made a little adjustment on the socket that I'm on, the set that I'm using here. I'm going to use the same 13mm deep, but this time I'm going to use this 1-inch wobble extension and then the 4-inch straight 3/8 drive extension. And I'm going to go over here. And this one is the most difficult one to get to. And notice with that extension, my extension with that comes right out to there. Perfect. So, we're going to go in there. Get our big bell in there. Now, see, I should, you know what, guys, let me get my ratchet, just in case you guys don't have one of these, to show you how I want you to tighten this up. All right, now what you're gonna do, guys, is same like I've always taught you. Go ahead till it stops. Once you feel it stops, just a little bit more. That's it. You ain't got to go crazy, because then you're going to take a chance in snapping that off. All right, then we're going to switch over down to the one over here. And let's get that on. Okay, now we're going to do this one more, and then we're going to do the rest. Take your ratchet. See, this is why you need a big bill, guys. You don't got to sit here and be doing this. It aggravates me by sitting here showing you how to do it. I've been watching my channel so long, and you still got me using a ratchet. What's up with that, yo?
I think that's what's up, yo.
You can say that. You can say it too. All right, good. We're getting tight here now. Oh, man. All right, guys. Okay, as soon as it stops, a little bit more. Now, we did those two bottom ones. Now you're gonna go the two up here. 1, 2, and then the center four gonna be tight. Then you're gonna start from the bottom on, or start from either one of the corners, and then go on a circular pattern and tighten up the other four. All right, let's get that done, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, the next thing we're gonna do is put in the oil dipstick / filler tube. Now, it goes, this grommet will go down there first, but you can tell this grommet is really worn out. And I noticed before I had to wipe up a lot of oil around there. So what we're gonna do to remedy this, so it don't leak, we're gonna put a bead of silicone around here, and once we get the tube in, we're gonna put a bead of silicone around that. And you can see where the hole is down there. So Let's see if I can figure out where I'm at. Here we go. All right, let me put the silicone on it. Okay. No, I can't see where I'm at, so.
Get your light.
No, I can't even see. Oh, there we go. Got it. I can't see it at all. I gotta do this by feel.
Oh.
All right, guys, there we go. We got that in there. So now, change my gloves, and now we get the dipstick tube and put that in. I'll be right back. All right, guys. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna set our dipstick down there, and I'm gonna put a little bead of silicone around this, so that thing won't pour out oil everywhere. And now let's get this set down in there. We gotta figure out the best possible way. Let's go right through here. You can see down there?
Yeah.
All right, now I'm right there at where I need to be. But what I need to do now is the other end of this goes on this stud over here. So we got to make sure that's going to line up perfectly. And that's down. Look at that, guys. That is perfect. The silicone squeezed right together. That is definitely not going to leak at all.
It don't take long for that to dry, do it.
Now about 15-20 minutes. So we got that. Now we get our 13mm nut to go on the end of this stud, just like that. Make sure that's up there. Let's get our 13mm.
I figured.
Let's go in there and get that tightened up. And we gotta hold it in place. Perfect. That's perfect, guys. Let's get our thing back in there and we'll be right back. All right, guys, now what we did, we're gonna finish up the bottom. And I got it jacked up, back on the jack stand. At least the exhaust manifold came with new bolts. Why didn't it come with gaskets, I have no idea. And these are 17mm bolts. And what I'm gonna actually try here is I'm gonna try to pick this one up and start this one by hand. At least that give me some alignment for the others. And no, it's up here. There it is. And I'm trying to get this thing started, but just a couple threads just to get it going. This job fighting me left and right from moment one. Okay, good. All right, at least I got that one in there. And what I'm gonna use here, I'm gonna bring that a little bit more. I'm using, I'm actually using an 11/16 swivel 3/8 drive socket with my 2-foot 3/8 drive extension and my 3/8 drive ratchet. And what I'm gonna do is go up under here, and I'm gonna just bring that in just a little bit more. Okay, perfect. Now since I got that lined up, it should be easier for me to start these other two. Should be.
Where this should fall in place, huh?
It should.
Yeah.
Alright, there's another one started. That's good. And my last one. Now if I can't reach my last one by hand, what I'm going to do is put it into the socket and let my extension and socket do the work. You guys, this part is very important when you're doing it this way. You got to make sure you're not going cross threading. That's why you do it by hand first. Great, it definitely looks like I got it. So now we're going to tighten up all three. But I noticed because this is a 17mm bigger bolt than the other one, it's kind of difficult for me to get this one right here. So this is the one right here. We're going to tighten this one up first.
Sound like it started.
Huh?
Sound like it started.
Oh yeah. All right, guys. Go ahead, go till it stops, and then a little bit more. Perfect. All right, let's get the other two done, and we'll be right back. All right, guys. While I'm up under here, I am going to connect the O2 sensor. And now, what I'm going to do here, because remember when we got down here, that wire was really, really close to that, and actually it looks like it was just touching at one point. So we're gonna get a wire tie strap and tie this wire out of the way.
How long a one you need?
A tie strap?
Yeah.
A little one.
I got a small one here. I didn't know how long.
All right, guys, we'll be right back. All right, guys, we didn't think this all through too good. We put that tie strap down there. It's gonna melt the moment he get down the block. So we're gonna take a piece of mechanics wire. We're gonna wrap it up, hook it to the wire, and bring it over to the side to make sure it stays away from that exhaust pipe. All right, so let's get that done, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we're up under here, and as you can see where I got the wire hooked, and then I bring it right over here. Now we're safely away from that. You know, there should have been some kind of heat shield here. Or something to go on, but maybe this pipe was changed at one point and it didn't have it. But we're all hooked up under here. Let's take the jack stand from under here, the jack, and go finish up the top. Be right back. All right, guys. The next thing we're gonna do is put in the air injection pipe. Now, earlier when I had my little rant about Dorman, I hate Dorman. Why couldn't they put the gaskets in the box? I don't know. So we got an issue here because we didn't find these gaskets nowhere. So what do you do at this point? I'm going to show you what you do, guys. And at this point, the red silicone is your best friend. So what you're going to do is we got the old gaskets. They're not completely worn out, but what you do, and both gaskets are the same. So what you're going to do is get your red silicone, and definitely don't use no blue or the black because the blue and the black is not heat resistant. So this one's going to burn up. So what you want to do is take it, and any kind of gaskets that's missing here, the red silicone is going to fill that up. So you put a thin layer right around just like that. Set it down. And do the other one. Alright, let's get the other one done and we'll be right back. right, guys, we got it down there. Now, don't think you can say, okay, I got it here. Let me go have some lunch. No, don't do that. Because you got about 15 minutes tops before this silicone starts drying, and then it's useless if you have it together like this. You're going to squeeze it together, and it's going to crack. So the next thing we're going to do, we got our injection pipe here. We're going to get 2 beads. Thin beads, guys, around each side, each port. Okay. Then we're going to slowly bring it into there. Bring it down, and it's got a slot right here that's going over this stud right here. So bring it down. And another messed up thing about this, they give you new studs, right? So I understand, why couldn't they give you new nuts to go with it?
That's right.
Why don't I say if now what happens if the other ones are broke? Then I gotta run to the hardware store, try to find some bolts and all.
That's right. It's just messed up.
So luckily it came off. Let's get our 4 10mm nuts started up there. Figures. Okay. And our 13mm nut that goes right there. Okay, set this down and let's get ready to tighten those up. Be right back. Alright guys, I'm going to use a 10mm swivel socket with my 2-foot 3/8 drive extension, 3/8 drive ratchet, and what we're going to do is start from the inside of the bracket. And I'm just going to bring this down just till it's... That's not good, dang it. So let's get our 10mm deep 3/8 drive. I'll find it.
And we want to swivel on you.
Yeah, got to a point we couldn't even go no more.
Yeah.
Alright, we're going to go to the center ones first. Just bring it down just till it's snug. Let's go back over to this one. Okay, then we're going to go to the outside ones just till it's snug. Do not tighten it up yet. And then the one over here. What this does is center that and make sure it goes down flush. Now, since we got it down, now we can start back over number 1 and tighten them up. Be very careful, guys. This is a 10mm. Those studs are very thin. You go ahead and tighten up too much, and you will snap that right off. Then you'll be looking crazy in the face. So, again, like I said, go till it stops a little bit more. That's it. And actually, when I tighten it up, you can actually see the silicone squeeze out of it. So we know that's a perfect seal right there. One more time, over to this one. Go till it stops a little bit more. All right, let's go to the outside too, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, the next thing we'll do, let's put our shield on. Now, remember, I didn't tighten up this yet, because I want to make sure we can get our shield down in there. And be very careful, because this thing is definitely kind of sharp. All right, got that down there. Let's bring it back up. Come on, get around that pipe, get around that, down there. Put this to the side so I can, there we go. Yeah, let's get this, man, and I'm still off of there. Why am I?
Well, yeah, it
off
will,
here.
but it don't have to be one now since I change hours on work. It can be in the morning.
All right, guys, you can see this thing is not giving me the time I wanted.
What day is that? Okay, that'll work. Red night boys out there.
Okay. Son of a biscuit. You know, wait a minute.
Please do.
Do I got this thing on right? Yeah, I got this thing on right. Or do I? Do I, Civvy?
Okay, let me ask you this.
Huh?
You're not gonna dilate my eyes, are you?
You know, guys, I think I got this thing wrong. Let me pull this thing back off of here and see
It won't be too bad with it.
how I got this thing.
So I will change drive to go to work for that. That's what I was getting. I should be okay by 4 o'clock. Okay.
Let me turn it, make sure I got this thing right. Maybe
Okay, I
I
appreciate
got
that.
it all right.
Okay.
Dang, I had the thing twisted. All right, so let's get our boat started in here
Bye-bye.
with the washers, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got them started. Now we're gonna go around and tighten up. And I'm using my 10mm swivel 3/8 shroud socket. And guys, this is not really tight at all. So just all you do is just go till it stops a little bit more. That's it. That's all it's doing is holding the shield into place. Alright, let's do the last one and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we got that done. The next thing we'll do is tighten up our 13mm nut over here. If I can get over here. Okay. Perfect, that is done. Alright guys, all this so far looks great. Everything is together, everything looks good. Now we're gonna go over here and just connect our hose to our diverter pipe and bring our clamp forward. Alright, and we'll move on to the next step. We'll be right back. Alright guys, now, what do we do next? I don't know, but check this out. Remember the party line with the bolts? So the next in line is we got these 3 bolts and 2 nuts. And where do they go to? We already know. This is the power steering pump and the bracket. All right, so we go over here. So now we know this is next to put in.
Did you have to look up that pipe back there?
Which one?
That little bracket over there?
Look at that. With Sirius on it, will you? Check that out. Sure is. All right, guys. We got 10. Making me look bad on video, man. What the heck is wrong? You supposed to say we'll be back. Say they told me on this.
We'll be back.
All right, so we got a 10mm bolt here. We got this little pipe over here, guys. Yes. Bolted up to the oil dipstick tube. And I'm trying to get this thing to start by hand, a couple threads. And of course, it's not happening. Alright, there we go. We got that started. So I'm gonna get this time. The last time I used a 10mm deep, it barely fit on. This time I'm gonna use a 10mm shallow.
You know what I ain't seen today?
What?
I ain't seen you in there opening wrench in your hand today.
You see the ring?
You got it figured out, ain't you?
There we go. I ain't use no ring.
I see you. You got that beat, ain't you?
Even in the tightest spots, I
ain't seen no right yet. You right.
All right, guys, so let's get this bracket over here. And we got the two studs coming up right there. So what we have to do is get those studs over there and hook up this pump at the same time.
Does this go over? We'll be right back.
None. That'd be funny. Let me see. Nah, cause as soon as I go put it in, it'll go forward more. So, but being that it's giving me a hard time and all. There we go. All right, let's get down, get on those studs over there. All right,
It's falling in place, man.
There
I'm
we
watching
go.
them two stubs there.
Oh, you took-
That's what I was looking at. Yeah, it fell in place when you pulled it on over there.
All right, let's get these started by hand first, a couple threads. And then we're gonna be back and I'm gonna show you how we're gonna install it into the pump. Be right back. All right, guys, we got those two nuts started by hand. Now we want to line up one of the holes for the pump. Put the bolt in. Use your socket to start that bolt going in. And you want to bring that bolt in enough where you can be able to spin the wheel and line up your others and get them started. Alright, so let's get that done and we'll be right back. Guys, I just want to point out something that, alright, we disconnected these bolts up here out of the power steering pump and these two back here. But to take this bracket off, I mean, there is, like when we took it off, there's two bolts going this way from the bracket to the pump. But the thing is, how you gonna get to it? You cannot get to those two bolts. I mean, it'd be crazy to get to. So it's definitely much easier taking the three bolts up to the pump and taking everything off like that. All right, so let's get this done and we'll be right back. All right, guys, now we're ready to tighten it up. We're gonna start off with the power steering pump. To tighten these up, what you're gonna do, now, right here, I'm gonna use the ratchet, but when I say be right back, I'm using my big bill, so. What you wanna do is go ahead till it stops. Just a little bit more. That's it, no more. All right, so let's tighten up the other two, and then, matter of fact, I'll show you how we're gonna tighten those up when we come back. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, now for the two nuts up here, the 15mm nuts, I'm using a 15mm swivel socket, 3/8 drive with my 2-foot 3/8 drive extension. And hopefully, it'll go down there enough to tighten up. The stud's not out enough, too much. Perfect, there we go. Same thing, tighten up till it stops. A little bit more, that's it. Let's get the other one done, and then we're gonna move on. We'll be right back. All right, guys, the next thing to do is the AC compressor. So we're gonna take our AC compressor, bring it around. Set it down. Okay, that's where I went up under here. Now we got 4 bolts, 2 15s and 2 13s. So we're gonna go to the front of the compressor. We're gonna start this one off by hand to make sure it's going in. Then we're gonna do this one, and then we're gonna start the 2 in the back. That's going straight down before we tighten them up. All right, so let's start them off and we'll be right back. All right, guys, next thing to do, get you a 15mm deep socket. And if you don't have an impact driver like I do, you're gonna use a 4-inch 3/8 drive extension with your regular ratchet. And the first thing we're gonna do is tighten up the 2 in the front. Okay, now why did I tighten up the two in the front? Because the bracket in the back, the holes are a little bit bigger so it can slide. So the first thing you need to do is important is bring that compressor up. Now we're gonna tighten the two in the back. Get your 2-foot 3/8 drive extension with your 3/8 drive swivel 13mm socket. And go ahead, tighten it up till it stops. A little bit more. Done. Let's get the other one and we'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing we do, ready to put our belt on. Remember our ratchet is still stuck over here. So at least it's still in our adjuster. Now what we're going to do is put our belt around the harmonic balancer and around the water pump. Then we're going to hold it in place over here to get ready to go around the power steering pump. So let's take our tensioner, move it like we're loosening up, get it onto the power steering pump. Okay, make sure, very important, make sure all the grooves are lined up on all the pulleys. Release it. Take your tensioner out. Again, make sure all the pulleys are lined, the grooves are lined up, because if not, the car's going to run and it's going to start shredding the belt up. This looks good. Everything looks good so far. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, now we got the top of the fan shroud. Let's pick our AC hoses up, slowly lower this down into place. Okay, perfect. Let's get our bolts. And remember, we got one bolt over there that was messed up. So that one, and it's very important, guys, because you see how this the bottom shroud, see, also moving out of the way. So you definitely have to make sure you get those bolts and put them in there. So let's get all the bolts started. We got 2 on this side, well, 1 on this side, 2 on the other side, and 3 on the top. All right, be right back. All right, guys, next thing you do, get you a 10mm deep 3/8 drive socket with your 12-inch 3/8 drive extension and your 3/8 drive ratchet. And we're gonna start tightening this up. We're gonna start from the center one. And guys, this is just plastic, so don't be Superman on this. That's all you do is just bring it down until it stops. A little bit more. That's all. Just holding in plastic. That's all it is. All right, and while we got the center one done, what we're gonna do is flip up our little connector right here, put our lines in, snap that back into place. Now, let's tighten up these 2, and then we go do the others on the side. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got our air tube up here, but the next thing we're gonna do is put on our air filter assembly. And what we're gonna do is take off our 10mm nut wheel over here. And remember the 2 grommets, the 2 studs right there. Our grommets go over that. So we're gonna set this down. So funny. Drop it down. Let's push it down on those grommets. Push the grommets down on it. Okay, perfect. Get our 10mm nut over here and hold that in. Now we're gonna put on our air tube assembly. But what we gotta do here is unlatch this again, because we need to pick this up.
Put that on.
Yeah, because this right here, and right here goes up under the line. So what we're gonna do is drop this down over here. Make sure your fingers out of the way. Your fingers be up under there.
Yeah.
All right, and let's go over this side. Oh. Put that in first. Dang, yeah. Now you tell me, wait, good. So wait, good till I get this thing down in there. All right, we'll be right back. All right, let's get this under the hose.
You told me not to correct you, so.
Hold on. You know what?
Don't look like it was.
Wait a minute.
Take
Let's take this back off.
Holding up space, huh? It's in the way there. He ain't got no room.
All right, let's pull this back up, guys. All right. There we go. Well, almost.
Man, I can't put that wire. Pull it up.
There we go.
Okay.
Now let's get this onto here. Okay. Now let's line up. This one goes that clip at. We got a piece that goes. We got a stud over here that goes into that grommet. Let's get that down. Okay. Now let's get our air cleaner here. Watch, we have a hard time getting this in. Okay. All right, now let's get this in, guys, like this. Push that down, get that in there, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, next thing to do, got a little Christmas tree clips. Let's just pop them into place. One on that side, one on this side. Then what we're gonna do is tighten up our clamps. Okay. Then I'm gonna switch over to my 10mm and tighten up the nut down here holding in our air cleaner assembly. Then we're going to reach over here, grab our wiring harness connector for our air temperature sensor. We're going to push that in and plug it up till you hear a little click. Done, done, done. The last thing we have to do here is bring over our radiator hose. Push that on. Let's get our clamp out the way. And tighten up the clamp. All right, let's get that tightened up and we'll be right back. All right, guys, got everything hooked up, got the antifreeze topped off. It's time to start it up, see how it sounds. You know what? I messed up, but I should have started it up
Before you put that.
before I put the exhaust, took the exhaust manifold off, so they can see how it sounds, hear how it sounds.
Yeah.
But so I guess they gonna be like, well, you don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds good, guys. I mean, I know you didn't hear it before. I know you guys didn't hear it before, but y'all seen the exhaust manifold. We were cut in half, so you know that thing had to be loud.
Yeah,
so
it did.
Yeah, this.
I know how loud
So
it
the
was.
customer's telling you, he knows.
I know.